don't yet know what led to this incident. There are no indications at this point that there's equipment issues, but obviously we're looking into that. I do want to talk about service. Blue Line service continues throughout the entirety of the Blue Line. You'll expect some very minor delays, but service will continue. Customers will be taking shuttle buses between O'Hare and Rosemont. That's a trip that'll add just a couple extra minutes to what a normal trip would be. So I want to emphasize that for the overwhelming majority of AM Rush commuters, Blue Line service will remain pretty close to normal.
Brian, talk about the safety protocols that failed, that stopped the train from coming up the stairs and up the escalator.
Well, it's far too early to talk about any protocols and what failed or what didn't fail. Incident is just a little over about 2 hours old now, hour and a half old. So we still don't have those details yet. We will be looking at everything related to this. We will be looking at equipment. We will be looking at signals. We will be looking at the human factor, any extenuating circumstances. But really, at this point, it's far too soon to speculate.
What should have happened? I mean, I know it's an obvious question, but what should have happened when it hit the train?
Well, the train, the Blue Line train, as it does at every station, simply decelerates and pulls into the station. It's an operation that occurs thousands of times every hour at stations throughout the city. So clearly something out of the ordinary occurred here. We do not know the circumstances that led to that.
What's next in the investigation? How does this go? Does it go OSHA? You all start the investigation? Is CTA get involved? How does this go?
Well, the CTA began investigating immediately. We'll be looking at video footage. We're interviewing all the personnel that were either on the train or at the station. The NTSB has been notified and will be visiting Chicago. Again, not a lot of details at this point. Regarding restoration of service, we're looking at several hours of work to remove the damaged train and clean up the debris. Can't make a speculation as to when normal service might be restored. The earliest it could possibly be would be later today. I don't know if that would be prior to the PM rush or after the PM rush. We should be able to update you on that later this morning.
What can you tell us about the motorman? How long has he worked for CTA, or she worked for CTA? What can you tell us about that individual?
Don't have information yet on the operator. As the commissioner mentioned, the operator appeared to be okay after the incident. We'll be talking to that individual and, of course, personnel at the station to see if we can glean more details. That's standard per CTA procedure. Don't yet know how many people are on the train. However, at a little before 3 in the morning on a Sunday, that's typically among our line, but I should be able to have those numbers later today.
Were you able to talk with the driver at all?
Our personnel has spoken to the operator, and I don't know yet what the gist of that conversation was.
Any structural damage to the platform here?
It doesn't appear to be. We're assessing all the areas. The platforms obviously are built of concrete, are pretty sturdy. The escalator down has obviously suffered some damage. So we don't have the full extent of the damage nor the time it will take to restore it, but should have that very soon.
What the train approaches, how much distance, is there a bumper, is there a sidewalk?
Where the trains come in is referred to as a pocket. There are 3 pockets at the O'Hare station. At the end of that is what's known as a bumping post. It's a large piece of metal that has kind of a shock absorber mechanism behind it. So that's typically what happens is the train will stop short of that and let passengers off at the platform. This train did not do that, and apparently was traveling at a rate of speed that would clearly was higher than a normal train would be. It apparently went over the bumper and obviously up onto the platform, but until we review video, I won't know exactly what transpired with the rail car.
Are we able to get down there and get some shots?
We're not going to be able to get down there because it obviously is an active investigation and cleanup and assessment scene. There's a lot of personnel down there working very hard to restore service as quickly as possible.
Right, I heard you correctly. You say the train going faster than it should have been. Would it say that again?
It appears as though the train would have been going faster than a train normally berthing at the station would be. Normally a train pulls in at just a couple miles an hour and pulls into the station. Obviously this train did not stop, so speed could be a factor here.
You mean when it decelerates, it should be going?
Right. As any train pulls into the station, it slows down to a complete stop. That should have occurred here. It did not.
Was there only a motorman on this train, or was there a conductor?
CTA hasn't had conductors for about 20 years now. So yeah, just a motorman on the train. But there was probably personnel at the station as well, and we're talking to everybody who is in the area who might be able to provide information.